it's Mark Warnke here. They call me the Goat Guy. Hey, you guys, this is the time of year, and you can see Harry Thorn. Now, Thorn's almost 10. He's one of my older goats, and he has horrible feet. Always has. I've worked really hard to repair them, but he showed up with horrible feet, and I've gotten him a lot better. But he's one who's prone towards hoof rot. He'll consistently get it every year, no matter how good I do. And so I'm going to show you kind of some of the early stages of that. First off, when we look at the bottom of the heel, remember this is the way you always want to kind of capture that leg. This looks actually worse than it is. What it is this is, if you look, fairly flat to the surface of it. But here's your portion of rotty, nasty hoof, and it's actually in this crease right here. And this is a really thick hoof wall. If you actually look from the underside of his hoof, see how it flares out? And he's been like that right here. He's been like that since he was little, and it creates just a crease that you just can't keep ahead of. So he consistently gets this. You can see his hooves have been trimmed recently. He's not been trimmed. He just gets it no matter what I do. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to go about kind of taking care of this hoof. So first off, we're just going to clip off that back part because there's the cavity that we need to make sure we keep exposed. And if I really want this to heal, and I'm going to get to that because I'm going to talk about aftercare here in a second. And this, I would say, is a fairly mild case. They'll get it much worse than this. So I'm basically going to take off this hoof, and I can smell it now. That's one of the other indicators that you're going to know when you get into some hoof rot is that you can actually smell it. So there I'm getting into some flesh. And that's where now we're getting down to where this tissue is going to have a chance to heal because it's actually starting to rot a hole into the base of his hoof. And that, again, this is the worst I've ever seen it on him. And I noticed this pocket the other day. So we're now deciding to go ahead and get this treated. And you can see that it's actually down into the base of the hoof. And that he is, you know, he's has an infection down in there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to clean this up a little better. Let me get the whole area kind of cleaned and treated. It's going to heal really nicely on its own if I can just keep him dry. So that's going to be the key, is to let this be dried and taken care of that way. Because what happens is that now he has an open wound and he keeps shoving poop in it by stepping in the muddy wintertime nastiness. And so the biggest problem is that he's just into the winter. And so what we need to do is we need to get iodine directly in there. And then there's other products like Hoof Coat and other things you can put on there to try to protect it. But the best way to protect it is just to have him in a dry environment. So what I'll do after I get this cleaned out, and there is no like big pustule or a big live infection in there. It's just the hoof matter itself has kind of rotted down to the base of the actual living portion of the hoof tissue. And so by doing that, I need to protect it to give it a chance to heal over. So first, it's just cleaning it, but secondarily, it's going to be keep him in clean, dry bedding for a couple of weeks. So now he's going to go into kind of the quarantine. So I hope you find that helpful. Now remember, if you're trying to learn how to raise goats and learn how to trim hooves and take care of problems like this, we specifically have two things I highly recommend that you do. If you're new to goats and you're trying to learn about this stuff and you're getting to this point now and you're going, man, I don't know everything I need to know. Then number one, I suggest you become a Goat Club member. It's $20 a month. You will save yourself way more than that in vet bills and care and all kinds of issues that'll come up. Plus you get half prices on all the courses. And the other course that I recommend that you do, you could become a Goat Club membership and then you get the How to Raise a Baby Goat course at half price. So that'll allow you to have both ongoing learning, direct connection with asking questions of me directly in a live Q&A twice a month. And then as well, you get all kinds of other benefits. So I highly recommend we teach you how to raise goats cradle to grave. This is one of my geriatric goats, and we have little teeny babies that we're raising in front of you all year long here on the ranch. So I hope you find that helpful. Mark Warnke, the Goat Guy, signing out.